championship fight, scheduled for 5-minute rounds. Davis, Bader.
Are you ready, sir? Are you ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Here we go! Tonight's Fight Club brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers! It's Miller time. Red gloves, the familiar pink shorts for Phil Davis, blue gloves, black trunks for Ryan Bader.
Phil Davis said, I want to get that takedown working early. I didn't do that in the last fight. Man, you got to be wary of that against a high-level wrestler. It can cost you a lot of energy early on in a fight.
Ryan Bader stuffed all but one takedown attempt, and there were many in the first fight back in 2015. Here's number one.
Wasn't able to get that left arm down. Only had one arm on that takedown. Now Ryan Bader in a body lock position.
Ryan Bader, the winner of season 8 of The Ultimate Fighter, right here on Spike. 0 for 1. Bader showing a little southpaw here.
He says my striking has advanced so much in the last few months. Nice left hand. In the first fight, he was at his best. He was pushing off his punches, using those strikes to clear a lot of distance and push Phil Davis back. He isn't great necessarily at cutting angles and setting traps. He's a forward kind of striker.
Both men have serious power.
Phil Davis is the kind to angle and throw a looping shot over the top. That's how their styles differ when it comes to the striking. Like that, loopy shots.
Bader won his last 2 fights in the UFC before coming over to Bellator. Phil Davis 4-0 inside the Bellator cage. Fans are loving it. We got a ton of great stuff still to come live on pay-per-view, top of the hour. Title on the line here live on Spike. Great to be with you, Mike Goldberg, Jimmy Smith. Mauro Ranallo.
Nice angle on those leg kicks.
Can he stuff it again? Yep.
Same problem. Look at that. Reached low with the right hand, but the left hand was too high. Bader got underneath it. He's got to commit with both hands.
Brendan Schaub, Josh Thompson, Jen Brown. Phil Davis 0 for 2, midway point of round 1.
But when it comes to high-level wrestling, it has to be perfect. Your margin of error is very, very slim if you want to take down a guy like Ryan Bader.
And this is not just wrestling.
Yep.
This is MMA wrestling.
Yes, very true. They've been at distance where it's been hard to get that takedown going.
And we've talked about the difference between wrestling and MMA wrestling many times.
Yes.
Well,
with different people, but we both discussed it.
We haven't talked about it.
You've heard us at home talk about it.
I talked about it with Joe, and you talked about it with Sean.
There you go. So we both talked about it.
We have talked about it.
But that strategy Phil Davis has had, how I'm going to go in and use my wrestling early. So far, it hasn't panned out. Crowd starting to get on him. They're both painfully aware that it was a painful fight last time. They're aware of that. Fans were not happy.
Phil ducked under there and almost delivered a good counter left. Again, Ryan Bader in the southpaw stance. Look at that.
So far this round, almost dead even. Phil Davis, I think, a little bit more active. He's gone for a couple takedowns. Ryan Bader, a little bit more accurate, I think, with the strikes, but hasn't thrown much.
Anytime you work your striking game with someone involved with Noble Unyao, that is a good thing.
Fantastic team all the way around.
Renan Barão was even in Phoenix training with Ryan Bader, CB Dalloway, and the crew there.
I got to train with them when I was down in Brazil, just in Jiu-Jitsu, and it was a meat grinder.
Good
Unbelievable.
idea. I'm sure that hurt, but good idea not standing up.
I was on vacation. I'm not trading punches with those guys.
Let Aldo kick you just once. Off the forearm, and a return by Davis. Quick jab by Bader. Reaching the end of round 1. More than anything, Jimmy, this first round, mutual respect.
Right. Good job, guys.
You feel the range on the leg kick? Okay, same thing. If he keeps moving, we're gonna have to GSP it. Yeah. Same thing, you can't adjust to the jab. Shoulder movement, hit the jab, look for the 1-5-2. Anytime he goes southpaw, he's looking for a left body kick. We just keep moving to that left side. 1-3-2. 1-3-2, step in 3. Remember Machida when he went to the southpaw? Yeah. So we just stay on that outside, he's looking for that kick. Don't run down. When I go 1, he moves. Correct. Feint it. We're just gonna keep moving him. So we're gonna go jab push, jab right high. Or we're gonna go 1-2s. So if he's moving, then we might have to go to double jab. All we're gonna have to do is keep walking him, start setting up the fence on the side movement. We're gonna start cutting him off if he's moving. If he keeps moving, look for the leg.
Seconds out, guys.
Chael Sonnen takes on bitter rival Wanderlei Silva. Fedor battles Matt Mitrione, and Bellator champions Douglas Lima and Michael Chandler put their gold on the line. Top of the hour, Bellator NYC live on pay-per-view. Order right now. Going to be a great night.
Let's go, fight.
Round 2. Eric Del Fiero, longtime trainer for Phil Davis in San Diego Alliance MMA, said, if he keeps moving, we need to GSP him. Look for the 1-3-2.
We talked earlier on this card about GSP and his jab, his ability to set everything up off that lead hand. The problem with the takedown, I think partly in round 1, is there weren't great setups. He wasn't getting Ryan Bader to bite on any of the strikes he was throwing, so he kind of had to dive in. Well, you're not going to take Ryan Bader down with that. You got to hurt him with something, pop him in the nose, then maybe you can set up that takedown.
Davis has only lost 3 times in his career, and they've all come by decision. One to Bader, of course, the split decision. The other 2 by unanimous decision to Rashad Evans and the Rumble, Anthony Johnson.
He's really winging that left hook. The reason I gave the first round 10-9 to Phil Davis, he was just more active. You see right now, he's just a little busier, throwing a little bit more. Neither guy has really landed anything significant, but Phil Davis has been leading it a little bit. He's been moving, he's been throwing a bit more. Activity levels why I gave him round 1, but still a close round.
So despite the fact he couldn't get a takedown in the first 5 minutes, you still thought
still
he
going
had a
for
little edge.
Yeah, still going for it.
Great point.
Still trying to be the aggressor, still trying to get the fight to the ground.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think that way, Jimmy. Like, you know, you are going for the takedown instead of you didn't succeed.
Yeah, no credit for defense. It's who's trying to get it done. So far, it's Phil Davis. Not by a whole lot. Very close fight.
I mean, Phil's career has really been the story of the takedown. In the Rumble fight, Anthony Johnson stuffed all 8 attempts. When Phil Davis beat Glover Teixeira, he took Glover down 9 times.
And he lives and dies with the takedown.
Absolutely. Both of these guys, high-level light heavyweights for years. Top of the food chain. One's the Bellator champion, the other in his first championship fight.
One thing about taking on a guy who moves as much as Phil Davis, you have to throw a lot of strikes. You're not going to catch him with the first one, the second one. Maybe the third or fourth will do it. And right now, Ryan Bader really stuck in a 2-punch mode. He hasn't thrown those long combinations you need to hit a guy who's moving a lot. Phil Davis really moving a lot.
Over the top, Bader saw it coming. Still can't get him down. But he tried.
He tried. He's going for it.
Right.
Points for aggression. Nice body kick.
Papio Gomez also worked the striking in Bader's camp for this fight. He's worked with guys like Jose Aldo. Totally different vibe for Ryan Bader as he makes his Bellator debut. Right to the top. Originally it was supposed to be King Mo.
Yep.
Instead, it's a title fight, and that's good for
That's
everybody.
an upgrade.
That is an upgrade, and we love it.
Love King Mo, great fighter, and the belt being on the line, that adds something to this fight for sure.
To a really cool night.
Yes. So far, it's looking a lot like the first fight. Not a whole lot of activity in terms of significant strikes. Both guys really trying to find their rhythm, but the target is elusive. What does that lead to, Goldie? Tough rounds to score.
Yes.
Scorecards that could be all over the place.
Which could lead to a very close split decision that the guy who lost really disagrees with. Which
As
I
they
think
almost
already
always
happened.
do.
Yeah, which I think already happened. 30. Heavy kick. Bader, faked the shot, came over the top.
If he can come back in his last 20 seconds and do some damage and maybe take this round. So far, I feel Davis ahead barely, basically based on activity.
Final seconds of round 2. Mitrione, his opponent, 2 titles on the line. Round 3. About 20 minutes away from our live pay-per-view. Before that, somebody's gonna leave this cage with a belt around their waist. So far, Jimmy, it's pretty tough to tell which guy.
Yeah, very, very tough.
Bader again switches the stance.
And you wonder how much that feeling for Phil Davis of, you know, I didn't quite do enough last time. I didn't quite put my stamp on the rounds like I should have. How much that stays with him tonight? How much is he going to turn it up? Feeling that, man, I just didn't do enough last time. Will that motivate him? Because right now, this fight looks like the last fight, which could go either way.
And both men said they didn't like the first fight. And both men have evolved greatly since that first fight.
Oh, Superman right hand. Nice left. Both of those landed.
Yep, the Superman punch and then the follow-up. That was the best combination of the fight for Davis.
Best so far.
Bader.
A lot of times, Bader's letting Phil Davis initiate, trying to counter over the top.
Third 5-round fight of Phil Davis's career. 4th 5-round fight of Ryan Bader's career. Up the middle.
What's interesting is they both had little moments, but it's nothing they can easily replicate. It's like both guys are moving, they're throwing stuff. Sometimes stuff is landing, but neither guy has found, like, okay, this is how I'm going to beat the other guy on the feet.
Yep.
They haven't found the path to success on the feet yet.
On the feet is where this entire fight has taken place, too.
No one's successful with the takedown yet. Davis has tried, it hasn't worked. Bader has to follow up on things like that. If he snaps the head back, got to come back with the right, the left, over the top, 3-4 punches.
He's got that heavy overhand right.
And he's hit him a couple times with the jab. But it's been one and done both times in this round.
Had the highlight reel finish with that vicious knee in Germany on Alir Latifi. Perfectly timed.
This crowd already on it. They're a little spoiled. We got a lot of finishes tonight.
That's a great point.
Tough acts to follow early on in the card. those of you who didn't catch it, man, James Gallagher, he looked incredibly impressive. Great stuff all night.
Bader opened his MMA career with 13 straight victories, 5 of those in the UFC. His first professional loss to some young dude named John Jones.
Never heard of him.
Me neither.
Yeah, he's good.
He's decent.
I've heard stuff.
Yeah.
No shame in that loss.
No shame. Lead uppercut. Phil Davis able to elude damage once again. Under a minute here in the third.
Ryan Bader hasn't really found a home for his power punches. He's landed once or twice with the jab in this round. Hasn't been able to follow it up with the right hand, the left hook, any power kicks. Add that 2 or 3, he might be able to catch Phil Davis, but so far it's been 1s and 2s, and that's not quite enough.
Keep an eye on the kicks that are blocked by the forearm, because those will break a forearm.
Oh, they suck.
There's a takedown, first of the fight, and it's Bader. Look at the clock though, Jimmy, just 15 seconds remains here in the third, but a big takedown late
for the guillotine.
Bader.
Not gonna get it.
Davis on top.
Right underneath you. Take a seat. Right underneath you. Sit here. Yes, breathe. Forward. Breathe, breathe. Very good takedown. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe breath. Breathe breath. Segura aí, Rafa. Segura aqui. Breathe. Breathe breath. You good? You will win, man. 2 more rounds. You will win. Good time, double leg. Feel okay? Ryan, use the more little jab. No moment to wait.
Championship rounds. Phil Davis has gone the distance twice. The 5-round distance, he is 1-1 in those fights. Bader went the distance, 5 rounds in a non-title main event against Owen St. Preux and won by unanimous decision. Jimmy, how do you have it?
I have a 3-0 for Phil Davis. He landed the right hook, left combo is the best sequence of the fight so far. It's almost exclusively activity in the first 2 rounds. He's just been a little busier. He cannot feel good about the scorecard right now. I don't feel good about it. I'm not sure about the first 2 rounds. Even round number 3 maybe, but it's the fact that neither guy's landed much, has done much for the judges to score. That's the hard part. Looks a lot like their first fight. Wouldn't be surprised if the scorecards are all over the place.
You gotta give the judges
That's
something.
it.
Judge, look at me, come here.
You just said has to give the judges something.
Judge, you gotta fight. Come on, you're here to fight. Hands up, ready? Time in. Fight.
You know when that happens, it's not a lot of activity. A lot of people right now giving Ryan Bader the first round. Sure, you certainly could. Depends on what you're looking at. My point is, neither guy has had that decisive round. Hasn't happened yet.
Davis changed levels there, tried to come over the top. Bader fights it off again. Nicely
Best punch of the fight for him.
Absolutely. Counter uppercut.
If the combination was there. He might catch Phil at the end of his punches. Phil tends to get out of position. He tends to lean into shots. He tends to be off balance a lot. Nice head kick. Only caught the back of the head, though, just grazed him.
By right now, top of the hour. 10 in the East, 7 in the West. It is the ultimate grudge match. Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva. Chael and I were actually in the movie Grudge Match.
Yeah, heard he was fun to work with on there. Had quite the jokes.
He's actually got a lot of personality. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hardly ever talked. Quiet guy. Hardly ever talks.
Yeah. Very introverted.
Yeah. Comes out of his shell in a way in though.
Yeah, he does. Man, Phil's really trying to wing that counter overhand right. Bader with the question mark kick. So first title fight in Bader's MMA career. He was always knocking on the door.
Always right there.
Yep. And couldn't get past that title contender matchup. Those are heavy.
Those guys look like they're trying to counter punch, trying to catch the other guy off balance. Not being aggressive and initiating with more than one shot.
One minute. We split jabs.
They talked about how much they improved, how much they didn't like the first fight, time in the morning and all this stuff. But I think this is what you get when you get these two guys together. They have a healthy respect for one another. They're both hard to take down. It's just one of those things where this is how their styles match up. They're very, very respectful. It's hard for them to land.
A couple of good knees landed in the midsection of Bader. And it's probably 4 a.m. in Sweden right now as well.
Let's put it that way.
Round 4 in the books. Coming up next.
However you want to say it, Goldie.
However we do tonight, Jimmy. Been a blast. 5th and final round.
I gave the last round to Ryan Bader. He landed the most significant strike of the round. He's finding his range a little bit better, but once again, a close one.
So overall, you have it 3 rounds to 1.
3 rounds to 1, yes.
Okay.
But none of those rounds were significantly in either guy's camp. Wouldn't surprise me if the scorecards are all over the board.
We've seen that.
Yeah, many, many times. Oh, good stuff. When they lock up, you see Ryan Bader just so much stronger. So that's great wrestle, maybe slicker, a little more technique, but when it's strength against strength, Ryan Bader, he flings him.
He's a very strong, powerful, dangerous dude. And Aaron Simpson, who fought professional MMA and was an assistant coach at ASU with Cain Velasquez and CB Dalloway and Ryan, said Ryan's just mean. He's just a mean training partner, mean fighter. He hadn't been as mean as I would think the A-Train would want him to be thus far, but he's got 3 minutes and 50 seconds to do so still. Just get me. Look to finish this and take all the mystery out of it.
Now, as a fighter, when you take on somebody better and you get beat, there's some solace in that. He was better than me, he beat me. When you think, I just didn't do enough, I just didn't quite do enough, that's a haunting feeling. And right now, so far in this fight, both guys can feel that way. They need to really let it all out in round 5.
And that's how Phil felt, pardon me, about the first meeting.
Yeah, could have done a little bit more.
Yep.
because this could go either way to the judges, and either way would be appropriate. But it's, you know, the guy who lost is going to go, man, if I just finished a little stronger, if I'd done a little bit more.
If it's a Bader win, they go, okay. If it's a Davis win, I can argue that as well.
Yeah.
The fans excited for the pay-per-view. The last Emperor, Fedor, Bellator cage. It is going to happen. And don't forget, Vanderlei Silva, Chael Sonnen. 2 main events from here inside the Mecca. Past the midway point of the 5th and final round. Takedown number 2 for Bader.
And so Phil Davis goes right to the wrestling escape. He doesn't try and turn and get guard. He hops right back to his feet, just like you would in a collegiate wrestling match. Bader can't keep him down. That takedown could give him the edge in the scoring.
I was thinking
very close round.
Yep.
He's had some success with that counter uppercut, that counter right hand.
90 seconds.
It's been his inability to really follow up on those strikes that he's been able to land.
Bader southpaw back, orthodox. See if somebody really wings it.
Phil Davis has been winging it a lot, but not able to connect.
Nope. There's the overhand right from Bader.
Bader has a big head, but it's been just out of line. He's been able to move just enough to avoid the big winging shots of Phil Davis.
Under a minute. Bader with the counter. Ducks under. A lot of swelling under the left eye of Phil Davis. Bader turning it up here in the 5th.
Guys, finish strong. Let's go. Come on.
Good timing on the takedown so far. Wasn't able to get that one. He hasn't lunged for them. He's waited for Phil Davis to come in. That's why he's been more successful with him.
Final seconds of the fight. They go the distance. We will find out who will leave with the belt. That is coming up next, right here on Spike. With the official decision, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Sal D'Amato, scores the fight 49-46. He sees the fight for Bader. Your second judge, Jeff Mullen, scores the fight 48-47. He sees the fight for Davis. Your third and final judge, Derek Cleary, scores the fight 49-46. For the winner by split decision, and now the new Bellator Light Heavyweight World Champion, Ryan
Ryan Bader is the new Bellator champion. We will talk to Ryan Bader later on pay-per-view. The night continues. Order right now. 5 more fights. Ryan Bader, congratulations. You are the new champion.